In this video, we'll break down the key mistakes that lead to most errors in pickleball. We'll explore simple adjustments that immediately improve consistency. And we'll talk about modern pickleball decision-making and readiness. Many players repeat the same mistakes without understanding the root cause, which leads to frustration and stalled improvement. The concepts covered here focus on positioning, shot selection, footwork timing, and spin management. Each idea is designed to simplify the game and reduce errors by improving awareness and control in real match situations. One of the most common mistakes in pickleball is not being ready for the next ball. This often comes from poor paddle positioning during a rally. Players tend to drop their paddle or let it drift out of position, which delays their reaction time when the ball is hit toward them. The laser pointer theory provides a simple solution. The concept is to imagine a laser extending from the tip of the paddle and continuously pointing toward the ball whenever it is on the opponent's side of the court. This keeps the paddle aligned with the incoming shot and prepares the player to respond immediately. A key refinement is not pointing directly at the ball, but slightly offset to favor the backhand side. The reasoning is that the backhand typically covers more of the body than the forehand. By shading slightly toward the backhand, the player is better prepared to handle the majority of incoming shots with a more efficient counter. This adjustment also influences body positioning. As the paddle tracks the ball, the hips naturally align with it, creating a more complete, ready position. This applies across all areas of the court, from the baseline to the kitchen. The result is improved reaction time, better positioning, and a more consistent ability to handle incoming shot. Another major issue is incorrect paddle height depending on court position. Players often keep their paddle in the same position regardless of where they are, which leads to inefficient movement and late contact. The seesaw effect addresses this by adjusting paddle height based on location. At the baseline, the paddle should be positioned low, around the hips. This prepares the player for balls that are likely to be driven toward their feet. As the player moves into the transition zone, the paddle rises to around the belly button. This creates a balanced position that allows the player to handle both low balls and potential volleys. At the kitchen line, the paddle should be raised to chest height. This is where the fastest exchanges occur, and having the paddle already elevated minimizes the movement required to respond to speed-ups and volleys. This adjustment reduces unnecessary motion and improves timing. Instead of reacting late and making large adjustments, the player is already in the correct position for the expected shot. An additional benefit of this system is improved decision-making on outballs. The paddle position acts as a reference point. If a ball is above the paddle at a given position, it is likely to go out. This provides a simple visual cue that helps players avoid unnecessary contact on balls that would otherwise land out of bounds. Poor shot selection is another major source of errors. Players often try to hit perfect winners or aim for difficult targets, which increases the likelihood of mistakes. The solution is to simplify decision-making by focusing on two specific target areas. These targets are positioned between the center of the court and the sideline on both sides. Aiming for these zones provides several advantages. First, the net is slightly lower in these areas compared to the edges, which increases margin for error. Second, these targets reduce the risk of hitting out of bounds since they are not directly aligned with the sidelines. Additionally, hitting toward these areas limits the opponent's options. When the ball is placed closer to the sideline, the opponent has more angles to attack. By targeting more central zones, those angles are reduced, making the opponent's responses more predictable. Footwork issues often stem from improper timing of the split step. Many players perform the split step after the opponent makes contact with the ball, which delays their ability to move effectively. The correct approach is to complete the split step before the opponent makes contact. This ensures that the player is already low and balanced when the ball is struck, allowing immediate movement in response to the shot. The split step creates a stable base by positioning the player on the balls of their feet with their weight centered. From this position, movement becomes more efficient. Once the ball direction is recognized, the player uses controlled shuffling movements to reach the shot. This maintains balance and keeps the body stable throughout the motion. This timing adjustment significantly improves reaction speed. Instead of spending time getting into position after the shot is hit, the player is already prepared and can focus entirely on moving to the ball. The result is better positioning, improved balance, and more consistent shot execution. As players improve, they encounter more spin, which can be difficult to handle without a clear strategy. A common mistake is trying to counter spin with the same type of spin, which often leads to errors. Spin continuation provides a more effective approach. The idea is to use the opponent's spin rather than fight against it. When facing topspin, the ball rotates in a way that resembles backspin from the receiver's perspective. Applying backspin in response aligns with that rotation, making the shot easier to control. Similarly, when facing backspin, the ball behaves like topspin from the receiver's side. Applying topspin in this situation helps manage the incoming spin more effectively. This method simplifies the interaction with spin by working with the ball's natural movement rather than resisting it. Attempting to override heavy spin with the same type often requires excessive effort and leads to inconsistency. When there is little or no spin, the player has more freedom to choose their shot. In these cases, applying topspin is generally effective and provides control. Understanding and applying spin continuation allows players to handle a wider range of shots with greater consistency and confidence. Reducing errors in pickleball comes from simplifying key aspects of the game. Maintaining proper paddle positioning through the laser pointer concept improves readiness. Adjusting paddle height with the seesaw effect ensures efficiency across different court positions. Limiting shot selection to high percentage targets increases consistency. Executing the split step at the correct time enhances movement and balance. Finally, using spin continuation allows players to handle challenging shots with greater control. Together, these adjustments create a more stable, consistent, and effective overall game.